So I'm gonna say a couple of stories. Some of them was um, mostly convention stories, and also the time that I got stalked, and it was very weird how it happened. So basically, what happens that the first year I came to Canada, um, I had no friends, and so I tried making friends through Tumblr and Facebook, right? People that lived in my area, and then one day in high school, like the only friend I had there at the time, introduced me, like reintroduced me to this webcomic. And I had tried in the past to read this webcomic, but it wasn't doing for me because I did not know what the fuck was even going on in it, and it seemed too much of a hassle for me to even bother. So I started reading the webcomic and all that, and I get into it. I started liking it and all that, and then she told me that there was actually a Facebook page for people within the area that also liked the comic. So I decide I want to try and join this group because that would help me like make more friends. So I do, and I make good friends, there. And so what I start to do is that, and a lot of my friends actually come from that, were once part of that web page. And so what I started doing was that each time I saw like a new member join the group, if I thought it would be interesting to talk to them, I would send them a friend request. And most of the time it worked. I became friends with a lot of people. And so one day there's this one dude, and I decide I wanna send him a message, a Facebook request, a friend request. And he accepts it, and we start to talk. Everything is perfectly fine, within only 5 days. After that, everything just, I don't know, he started getting really creepy. I don't know why. It's like he wasn't even saying creepy stuff to me. It's just kind of like, when you have something in your gut tells you, that something is clearly wrong, even though the person is not really saying anything wrong, but you just know it's weird and you should probably not go near it, and stop what you're doing. So I decide to do that. I decide that I'm gonna give this guy one more week. I'm gonna give him one more week and see what happens, because maybe he was having a odd day or something. I don't know. In my head, I was like, maybe this is just a 1 day thing. So that's what I do. I give him a week, and he's still fucking weird. So I decide that fuck this dude. So I block him and delete him from my friends on Facebook, because I have no interest in being part of any drama, because I am not about that life. So I do that, and basically what happens is that 2 weeks pass by. So what happens is that I have told this dude, because we were talking about an upcoming convention, and basically I told him that I was going to be there. Yeah, I clearly fucked up. My fault, okay? Whatever. But I didn't know he was going to be a weirdo, and I was just talking about fucking convention. Anyways, I was going to be in cosplay, so I wasn't worrying much about it. However, I did tell two of my good friends at the time. Both of them told me, "Sen, what the fuck? That's fucking scary, like, you have to be careful when you go to this convention, because he is, do something to you." And me being me, I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, fine. I'll stick close to you guys, I'm like, okay. The day of the convention comes. It's a 3-day convention, by the way. I'm in cosplay for all 3 days. Nothing happens in those 3 days. And I, of course, being me, I drifted the fuck away from my friends, because I am just like that. I tend to just wander the fuck off, because that's just the way I go. So yeah, nothing happened, and everything was good. Fast forward to a month. A month later, this tiny convention happening. It's like a 1-day thing, And I decided, why not go and see how it is, right? I've never been to it before. Might as well, yes, check it out. So I go and see how it is. I had stayed in my friend's house to sleep because they lived a lot more closer to it than I did. So we then leave off that day, and of course I was not in cosplay because I found it useless to cosplay for a one-day convention. And I didn't even know how it was, so I just decided not to. So that's what I do. I get there, and everything. I thought I heard my cat, and everything's okay. Until we go down to the basement like area. It's like this university, and it has like this basement type area. Because I got hungry, everybody got hungry, and that was the only like cafeteria open at the time. So we go, and there's only this one place open, and we go, and I order my food. Somebody else comes with me because I asked if anybody else wanted to come. And so we go. I order my food, and I'm waiting for my friend to order her food. Lo and behold, I start hearing somebody whisper my name in a very creepy manner, like going Sen. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, if it was one of my friends, it could just, come tap me in the shoulder, or just say my name normally. So, I'm like, what the fuck? And I kind of look discreetly, not too obvious, like, kind of look into the sides to see, just minding my own business type of thing. It's the fucking dude. It's the fucking dude. I had completely forgotten about him until I saw him. And I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? Like, fuck me. So I'm just praying for my friend to hurry the fuck up, because I do not want nothing to do with this. I do not want to start a fight. Because I'm new to the fucking country, I don't know how fights here work, So she comes back, and I told her to hurry the fuck up to go back, because I want to go back with, with my group of friends. So this dude actually followed us until he saw that we were going back to, like, up to a corner where a lot of people were, and I guess he was like, well, I'm certainly not fucking with this. So yeah, he left us alone. He left me alone, better say, not us. I was the one he was after. So he left us alone, and left me alone. And I never heard from him again. Although I did comment to it to one of the leaders from the group, like, monitor the whole thing. And I told her about this dude, and she said, oh, that dude, he was actually kicked out from the group because he was actually harassing other people, other kids. And here's the thing, the website I was in, it was meant for kids that were like, they were young people in the group, like probably 13 to fucking probably, I would say 16 was the highest level, and there were like those little, like, between like 21 year olds, but those were usually like the people that were like in charge of the group. And there were other like older kids, but usually they maintained their distance, right? So I was 15, almost 16 at the time when that happened. And this dude, I remember he told me he was 19, and he was like, apparently he was flirting with like 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, and he wasn't even discreet about it. And of course he freaked a lot of these kids out, and he ended up getting banned from the page because, problems. But yeah, I never heard from him again. I don't think he did anything bad to any of the kids, at least that I'm aware of. But yeah, it was very odd, very weird, and a very interesting experience that I do not wish to experience again. So back when I was 15, this was like like around the same time I was like my first year in Canada. Probably maybe my second, but I'm not quite sure because I went to a lot of conventions within the first year. So I was at this convention with one of my friends, and so we went to this little area that was for to take photo shoots. Well, it wasn't for to take photo shoots. It just was a very popular area to take photo shoots. So there were like, it was kind of like under the stairs of like this like library thing, but it was like open to public. It was like outside the library, and it was like a very good area to take like creepy shots or like, you know, dark shots, you know, stuff like that that require no happiness whatsoever in the shot. So anyways, they were cosplaying, I think, Dean Westchester or whatever, that dude from, I was gonna say Dragon Aid, from Supernatural, and their partner was cosplaying Cass the Angel, I think his name is. So we went there when they were like almost finishing, like probably 2 minutes before they finished the shoot, and oof. I decided to be the good friend and wait for them to finish. So they were the only ones picking up their shit, and everybody else had gone upstairs. You know, so I was waiting for them to finish picking up their stuff, you know, and be able to head back. So what ends up happening is that they suddenly, I guess because they were kissing so much in the fucking photo shoot, they became really fucking horny. And now, here's the thing with me. I do not have any sex drive whatsoever. I am very, like, I guess I'm too lazy. That's the thing, dude. I'm lazy. That's the only reason why I have never bothered to have sex. I'm too fucking lazy. It's not even like, oh no, it's disgusting. No. I'm just too lazy. And also too, at this point, I'm not really comfortable with my body. But that's like a whole different issue. Like, mostly it's because I'm too fucking lazy. So they started getting like really flirtatious around me, and I know I'm fucked. I know that the only way for me to escape is by me kissing them. And here's the thing. I could have easily said no. But what happened that I was, yes, a goddamn 15/16-year-old at the time. Hormones were everybody. Hormones were everywhere. And I didn't know what the fuck to do. I panicked. This is the first time somebody has done this to me in a very obvious manner. So of course I panicked. Oof. And what I did was that I gave them a peck on the lips, because I was not putting my tongue inside of their mouth, nor did I want their tongue inside of my mouth, because that would have been really disgusting for me, and I do not appreciate it. So I did that, and it obviously they wanted more, and I just kind of like gently like pushed them away, left it off, and went back up and ignored them for the entirety of the rest of the day. Because they kept on being very flirtatious, and I did not want to go through that again, you know. And you know, this happened years ago, so if that ever happened to me again, I will probably push the person away and be like, no, because that's what you're supposed to do, anyways. But I panicked, you know. So that happened, and so the thing with this person is that ever since that happened, each time we would hang out, they would always at some point get extremely flirtatious with me. And it got to the point in which I actually felt really uncomfortable being near them. And I guess the only times I would actually hang out with them would be if somebody else was with us. Because somebody else was with us, then that person would get, you know, the whole flirtatious thing going on, and I would be safe, you know? But yeah, that was such an I just did not appreciate that at all when that happened. But